Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. DeepEval Framework, Episode 7 of 18. A chatbot might give a great first answer, but completely forget the user intent or its own persona by the third turn. That is why we use multi-turn conversational evaluation. Evaluating isolated responses is easy, but real users do not send isolated prompts. They ask follow-up questions, change their minds, and refer back to things they said 5 minutes ago. Standard evaluation methods fall apart here because they look at a single input and a single output. They have no concept of time or memory. To test how a model handles an ongoing dialogue, you need a structure that captures the entire thread. In the framework, you handle this with a specific object called the conversational test case. Instead of taking one input string and one output string, it takes a parameter called turns. The turns parameter is a sequential list. Each item in this list represents a single back-and-forth exchange between the user and the system. You order these exchanges from the first message to the very last. Wrapping the sequence in a conversational test case tells the evaluation engine to treat the entire list as one continuous, stateful interaction. There is a common trap here. Do not pass a conversational test case into standard non-conversational metrics. Standard metrics are built for single outputs. If you use them on a multi-turn object, they will ignore the historical context entirely. You must use dedicated conversational metrics to evaluate the turns list. Conversational metrics evaluate the conversation as a whole. They take prior context into consideration to judge the sustained behavior of the model. Two primary examples are role adherence and knowledge retention. Consider a customer support chatbot that is explicitly instructed to act like a pirate. In turn 1, the user says hello, and the bot replies with pirate slang. In turn 2, the user asks a question and the bot stays in character. But by turn 3, when the user asks about a refund, the bot replies with a standard corporate apology. It completely dropped its character. You can catch this failure automatically using the role adherence metric. You define the target persona in the metric setup, and it evaluates the entire conversation to verify the model never broke character, even as the context grew longer. Knowledge retention solves a different problem. If a user provides an account number in the first turn and asks for a status update in the fourth turn, the bot should not ask for the account number again. The knowledge retention metric scans the turns list to ensure the model successfully retrieves and applies facts introduced earlier in the chat history. Building this in code takes just a few steps. First, you create your individual turns, mapping the user input to the model output for each step of the dialogue. Next, you pass that entire sequence into a new conversational test case. Then you set up your conversational metric, assigning criteria like the expected persona. Finally, you execute the metric against your test case. The framework processes the full history and returns a score based on the cumulative interaction. Here is the key insight. Multi-turn evaluation shifts your testing from measuring isolated technical accuracy to measuring sustained behavioral consistency over time. Thanks for listening. Happy coding, everyone.